Three alien students stood in the bright hallway of the Galactic Federation Academy. Zixtal, made of living crystal, sparkled in the light. Beside them, Miraval floated as a cloud of blue-green gas. The third student, Fen, stayed inside a water-filled suit that kept them alive. They waited outside their teacher's office, each feeling nervous. Yesterday, they had received a message saying they were chosen to visit Earth. Everyone in the galaxy knew Earth was dangerous. It was called a deathworld, one of the most deadly planets known to space travelers. The office door opened. Their teacher, Professor Angstrom, waved them inside with one of their 4 arms. A human woman stood next to the professor. She wore a blue uniform and had a name tag that said, Laura Bennett. "Come in," said Professor Angstrom. The professor's words changed into words the students could understand through their translator devices. "This is Officer Bennett. She will help show you around Earth." The human smiled at them. The 3 students tried not to move back when they saw her teeth. They knew humans smiled to be friendly, but it still looked scary to them. They went into the office. Zixtal sat on a crystal chair. Miraval stayed in their floating bubble. Fen settled into a special water-filled seat. Another human walked in, wearing long teaching robes. "I am Dr. Philip Mason," the new human said. "I study Earth and will help guide your research." Professor Angstrom turned on a screen that showed pictures in the air. "We picked you 3 from many students who wanted to go. Your job is to learn why Earth, even though it's very dangerous, created beings who could travel in space." The screen showed Earth. It looked like a blue and green ball floating in space. It seemed peaceful, but Dr. Mason began telling them facts that made them afraid. "Earth's gravity pulls very hard," he said. "The air pushes down with great force. The weather changes from very hot to very cold. The ground sometimes shakes. Storms can destroy buildings. Many plants and animals can hurt or kill you. And humans grew up there." Miraval asked, their gas form shrinking a little. "Yes," Laura said. "Most of us think it's quite nice." "How do you live with such strong gravity?" Fen asked through their translator. "It would break most beings from other worlds." "That's what you're going to study," Professor Angstrom said. "You will stay at our research building in North America for 1 Earth month. You'll watch humans live their normal lives. You'll learn about their bodies. You'll try to understand how living on Earth made humans the way they are." "Will we be okay there?" Zixtal asked, their crystal body shaking slightly. Dr. Mason gave them a kind look. "We made special suits to protect each of you. The building where you'll stay has special rooms made just for your needs, and humans are very good at protecting others. You'll be safe." Laura stepped closer to them. "What you learned could help everyone understand Earth and humans better. Yes, we come from a dangerous world, but that's what made us strong." The 3 students looked at each other. They knew this was their chance to do something important. They would learn why Earth was called a death world. They would discover why other beings in space both respected and feared humans. In 3 days, they would leave on a ship to Earth. As they walked out of the office, each student knew their lives would change forever. They were about to see firsthand what made Earth so special and why its people were unlike any others in the galaxy. The ship landed at the North American Research Center in Colorado. Zixtal, Miraval, and Kthin stayed in their protective suits as they walked down the ramp. Even with the suits, they could feel Earth's strong gravity pulling at them. 2 humans waited for them at the bottom. A tall man with brown hair smiled and waved. Next to him stood a woman with red hair tied back in what humans called a ponytail. "Welcome to Earth," the man said. "I'm Daniel Wright, and this is Amanda Cole. We'll be your guides while you're here." Amanda stepped forward. "Let's get you inside. We've set up special rooms for each of you where you can take off your protective suits." The aliens followed their guides into a large white building. The halls were wide enough for all their different forms to move easily. They stopped at 3 doors, each marked with their names. "These are your safe rooms," Daniel explained. They match the gravity and air from your home worlds. You can rest here when you need to. Zixtal went into their room first. As soon as the door closed, they felt the gravity decrease. Their crystal bodies stopped feeling so heavy. In the next room, Miravol's gas form spread out happily in the familiar pressure. Then settled into their water room, feeling the liquid match the exact temperature of their ocean home. Later, they met in a room made for all of them to work together. Each had a special area fitted to their needs. Amanda walked in carrying a box of metal tools. She tripped on a power cord, and the box flew up in the air. The alien students watched in shock as Amanda quickly caught the falling box with one hand. To them, the box looked heavy enough to shatter Zixtal's crystal form. "Are you okay?" Daniel asked. "I'm fine," Amanda said. She put the box down like it weighed nothing. "Just wasn't looking where I was going." Then's translator buzzed. "How did you catch that so easily? The gravity here is so strong." Amanda looked confused. "Oh, it's not that heavy. Maybe 20 pounds. The aliens shared worried looks. They had read about human strength, but seeing it was different. On their worlds, moving like that would take machines or many workers. "We should show you around the center," Daniel said. He walked to a window and opened it. Hot air blew in. "It's a nice day today. Only about 85 degrees Fahrenheit. Nice." Miravol's gas form swirled faster. "That's hot enough to damage most species." "Really?" Amanda looked surprised. "This is pretty normal for summer here. It might even get hotter later." They spent the rest of the day touring the research center. The humans showed them earth plants growing in the garden, explained how the weather could change quickly, and pointed out the mountains in the distance. Every new thing they learned made the alien students more amazed. Humans lived with strong gravity, changing temperatures, and dangerous weather like it was normal, because for them, it was normal. At the end of the day, the three students met in their workroom again. They had only been on Earth for one day, but they already had so many questions. "Maybe this is why humans explored space so easily," Zixtal said. "After living here, everything else must seem simple to them." Fen and Miravol agreed. They still had a whole month to learn about Earth. If the first day taught them so much, what else would they discover? Outside their window, the sun set behind the mountains. Another Earth day was ending, but their adventure was just beginning. A week had passed since the alien students arrived on Earth. Daniel told them they would visit a research station in the Rocky Mountains. The aliens sat in a special vehicle made to keep them safe during the drive. "The station is at 10,000 feet above sea level," Amanda explained as she drove. "The air gets thinner up there." Miravol watched the road climb higher through their protective bubble. "Thinner air. How do humans survive that?" "Our bodies adjust," Daniel said. "We make more red blood cells to carry oxygen. It takes a few days to get used to it." The aliens looked at each other in surprise. Humans could change their bodies to match their surroundings. On their worlds, beings needed machines to live in different places. The vehicle climbed higher up the mountain road. Trees grew on steep slopes that made Zixtal nervous. One wrong move, and they could fall very far down. They reached the research station just as dark clouds appeared over the mountains. Daniel looked at the sky with worry. "A storm's coming," he said. "We should get inside the cabin quickly." As soon as they reached the cabin door, rain began to fall. Thunder boomed across the sky. The alien students rushed inside, scared by the loud noise. "Don't worry," Amanda said as she turned on the lights. "Mountain storms are normal here. The cabin is safe." The storm grew stronger. Wind shook the trees outside. Lightning lit up the sky. The aliens watched through the windows, amazed that humans lived with such powerful weather. "The temperature is dropping," Ken said through their translator. Their water suit needed more power to stay warm. Daniel walked to a metal box on the wall. "The heating system will keep us warm. We also have a fireplace if we need it." Suddenly, something hit the cabin roof with a loud crack. The aliens jumped in fear. Just a branch, Amanda said calmly. She walked to a cabinet and took out some food. Anyone hungry? I packed sandwiches. The aliens watched in wonder as their human guides ate and talked like nothing was wrong. Outside, the storm raged. Inside, Daniel told stories about climbing these mountains for fun. You climb these heights without safety suits? Zixtal asked. Their crystal form shimmered with disbelief. Yeah, it's my favorite hobby, Daniel said. The view from the top is amazing. Plus, the exercise is good for us. Exercise. Miravol's gas form swirled in confusion. You make your bodies work harder in this gravity and thin air on purpose. Amanda laughed. It makes us stronger. Humans need exercise to stay healthy. The storm lasted for 3 hours. During that time, the temperature dropped 20 degrees. The wind blew hard enough to make the cabin creak. Lightning struck a tree nearby. Through it all, Daniel and Amanda stayed relaxed. They showed the aliens pictures of mountain climbers reaching high peaks. They explained how humans had built cities in places like this. When the storm finally ended, the sun came out. Daniel opened the cabin door to show them something new. Look, he said, pointing to white stuff on the ground. The cold rain turned to snow. The aliens moved closer to look. In just one day, they had seen rain, thunder, lightning, and now frozen water falling from the sky. The temperature had changed from warm to cold. The air was thin. The gravity never stopped pulling at them. And humans lived here. They climbed these mountains for fun. They built homes here. They enjoyed it. The alien students had learned something important that day. Earth wasn't just a planet with harsh conditions. It was a place where those conditions could change in hours. No wonder humans were so tough. They had to be ready for anything. 2 weeks into their stay on Earth, the alien students visited the University of Colorado's science lab. Amanda and Daniel wanted to show them how humans studied other forms of life. The lab was big and bright. Strange machines lined the walls. Clear boxes held samples of plants and small animals. The alien students stayed in their protective gear as they looked around. Today we're studying how Earth animals heal from injuries, Amanda said. She pointed to some small containers. These are cells from different creatures. While Amanda talked, Daniel got some tools ready. He carried glass bottles filled with colored liquids to the table. The aliens watched through their special viewing equipment. Suddenly, Daniel's hand slipped. One of the bottles fell and broke. Blue liquid splashed on his arm and the floor. A sharp smell filled the air. Chemical spill. Amanda called out. She pressed a button on the wall. Water started spraying from a metal pipe above Daniel. The aliens moved back in fear. On their worlds, a chemical spill meant evacuation and special cleaning teams. But Daniel just stood under the water, letting it wash the blue liquid away. It's okay, he said, reaching for a towel. The safety shower took care of it. Just got to clean up the floor now. But the chemical touched your skin, Finn said through their translator. Their water suit bubbled with worry. Amanda helped Daniel clean the floor. The chemical wasn't too dangerous. His skin kept it from getting inside his body. Your skin stops chemicals. Zixtal's crystal form sparkled with surprise. Most of them, Daniel said. He rolled up his sleeve to show them his arm. The skin was a little red. I might have a small rash for a day, but that's all. Watch this, Amanda said. She picked up a piece of paper. Even something as simple as paper can cut human skin. She slid the paper across her finger carefully. You hurt yourself on purpose. Miravol's gas form swirled faster. It's just a paper cut, Amanda said. She showed them the tiny cut on her finger. A drop of red blood appeared. See, my body is already stopping the bleeding. By tomorrow, you won't even see it. The aliens moved closer to look. They saw Amanda's blood cells working to close the small wound. Our bodies fight off most harmful things, Daniel explained. We have skin to keep dangers out. We have blood that fixes injuries. We have special cells that fight sickness. Is that why you don't wear protective suits? Zixtal asked. Exactly, Amanda said. Earth has lots of things that could hurt us, so our bodies learn to protect themselves. She showed them more examples. A bruise on her knee from bumping into a desk was healing. A small burn on Daniel's hand from hot coffee was already getting better. Their bodies fixed these injuries without any help. Most Earth life is like this, Daniel said. Plants grow back after being cut. Animals heal from wounds. Even tiny creatures like bacteria can repair themselves. The alien students took careful notes. They had thought Earth was dangerous because of its gravity, weather, and active geology. Now they saw another reason it was called a death world. Everything on Earth had to be tough to survive. At the end of the day, they watched Amanda put a small bandage on her paper cut. Such a simple thing showed so much. Humans didn't just live on a dangerous world. Their bodies were made to face danger every day. Tomorrow, we'll show you more about human healing, Daniel said. Wait until you learn about our immune systems. The aliens looked at each other. They had a feeling tomorrow would bring even more surprises about how humans survived on their death world. 3 weeks had passed on Earth. The alien students were eating lunch in their special room at the research center. Each had food from their home worlds that the humans had stored for them. Amanda and Daniel sat with them, eating sandwiches. They were talking about plans to visit more Earth places when the floor started to shake. At first, it was gentle. Then the whole building began to move. Pictures rattled on the walls. A cup fell off a table and broke. Earthquake, Daniel called out. But he didn't sound scared. The alien students froze in fear. On their worlds, the ground never moved. Zixtal's crystal form shook with the floor. Miravol's gas swirled wildly in their containment field. Fenn's water suit rippled with the movement. Under the tables, everyone, Amanda said calmly. She helped guide them to safety. This is a small one. Nothing to worry about. The aliens watched in shock as their human guides handled the situation. Daniel turned off the machines in the room. Amanda made sure nothing could fall on them. They worked quickly but didn't panic. The shaking lasted for 40 seconds. To the aliens, it felt like forever. When it stopped, they stayed under the tables, afraid to move. All clear, Daniel said. He stood up and brushed off his clothes like nothing strange had happened. That was about a 4.5 on the Richter scale. Pretty mild. Mild. Zixtal's voice came out shaky. The ground moved. Earth's surface floats on hot liquid rock, Amanda explained. She was already cleaning up the broken cup. Sometimes that rock moves and makes earthquakes. And you live here knowing this can happen. Fenn asked through their translator. We build our buildings to handle it, Daniel said. He pointed to the walls. See how nothing major broke. That's because everything is made to move a little during quakes. Laura Bennett, who had been in another room, came to check on them. She carried a tablet showing information about the earthquake. The emergency systems worked perfectly, she said. Everyone in the building followed safety rules. No one got hurt. The aliens watched as humans throughout the building went back to work. Some talked about the earthquake like it was everyday news. Others just continued what they were doing before it happened. Don't you feel afraid? Miraval asked. Their gas form was still moving faster than normal. We respect the danger, Amanda said, but we learn to live with it. Earth has earthquakes, storms, volcanoes, and more. We can't stop these things, so we prepare for them instead. Later that day, the alien students met to write about what happened. They had seen humans deal with many Earth dangers, but this was different. They don't just survive here, Zixtal said. They built their whole civilization knowing disasters could strike at any time. And they stay calm when danger comes, Ken added, like they expect it to happen. Maybe that's why they do so well in space, Miraval said. After living on Earth, they're ready for anything. Outside their room, they heard Daniel and Amanda planning the next day's activities. The earthquake was already old news to them. The aliens realized something important. On Earth, danger wasn't special. It was normal. Laura stopped by to give them more information about earthquakes. There's a saying on Earth, she told them. Life finds a way. That's especially true for humans. No matter what our planet throws at us, we adapt and keep going. The alien students had a lot to think about that night. They were starting to understand why Earth was called a death world. But they were also beginning to understand why humans were such amazing survivors. The alien students sat in their workroom at the research center. Their time on Earth was almost over. Now they had to write about everything they had learned. Each of them worked in their special area. Zixtal in their crystal chamber, Miraval in their gas field, and Kfin in their water tank. Look at all our notes, Zixtal said, displaying their data on a floating screen. Humans live in places that would kill most species. Miravol's gas form moved excitedly. They don't just live here. They enjoy it. Remember when Daniel showed us humans who climbed the tallest mountains just for fun? And they swim in their oceans, Fen added. Waters full of dangerous creatures. Waters that move with huge waves. But humans made boats and went exploring anyway. Laura Bennett came into the room carrying more research files. She found the aliens surrounded by screens showing pictures and data from their month on Earth. "How's the paper coming along?" she asked. "We found something interesting," Zixtal said. Their crystal forms sparkled as they showed their newest discovery. Earth has many different places to live. Hot deserts, cold mountains, wet jungles, dry plains. Humans can live in all of them. Laura nodded. "We call those different areas biomes. Earth has many of them. That's what makes humans special." Miravol's voice came through their translator with excitement. "Other worlds have one or two kinds of places, but Earth has many. Humans had to learn to live in all of them." The aliens showed Laura their research. They had studied how humans lived in places with different air pressure, temperature, and gravity. They learned how human bodies could heal quickly and fight off sickness. They saw how humans built tools to survive anywhere. "Your planet made humans strong," Kun said. "Everything on Earth had to be tough to live. The animals, the plants, and especially the humans. We think that's why humans do so well in space," Zixtal added. "After living on Earth, other planets seem easy to handle." Laura looked at their work with pride. The aliens had discovered something many species didn't understand about humans. Earth's dangers had made humans better, not weaker. They spent hours writing their paper. They explained how Earth's gravity made human bones and muscles strong. They showed how Earth's changing weather made humans adapt quickly. They wrote about how dangerous animals and plants made humans learn to be careful and clever. "There's one more thing," Miraval said as they finished writing. "Humans don't just survive Earth's dangers. They study them. They learn from them. They use what they learn to go new places." "That's true," Laura said. "Every challenge Earth gave us taught us something new. Those lessons helped us reach the stars." The alien students added one last part to their paper. They wrote that Earth wasn't just a death world. It was a teaching world. Everything that made it dangerous also made it special. Earth had created a species that could face any challenge and find a way to succeed. As they finished their work, they looked out the window at the setting sun. Tomorrow they would pack up their research and get ready to leave. But they knew their discoveries would change how the galaxy saw Earth and its people. "Maybe other species will understand now," Zixtal said. "Humans aren't just tough. They're tough because they had to be. Earth made them that way." The others agreed. They had come to study why Earth was called a death world. They were leaving with an answer that was bigger than they expected. The Great Hall of the Galactic Federation Academy was full. Students and teachers from many worlds came to hear about Earth. Zixtal, Miraval, and Kfin stood on the stage in their protective gear, ready to share what they had learned. Professor Angstral spoke first. "These students spent one Earth month studying why humans can live on such a dangerous world. Now they will tell us what they found." Zixtal moved forward, their crystal form catching the light. "We thought Earth was dangerous because it had strong gravity, changing weather, and moving ground. But we learned something more important. Earth is dangerous because it never stays the same. Pictures appeared on the big screen behind them. They showed Earth's different places: hot deserts, cold mountains, deep oceans, and thick forests. Most worlds have one or two kinds of places to live, Miraval explained, their gas form moving gently. But Earth has many. Humans had to learn to live in all of them. This made humans special. Fen showed pictures of human cities in different places. Humans built homes in the cold north, the hot south, high mountains, and deep valleys. They learned to live everywhere on their world. The audience watched as the students showed more pictures. They saw humans climbing mountains, diving in oceans, and walking through deserts. They saw human bodies healing from injuries and fighting off sickness. Earth taught humans to be ready for anything, Zixtel said. Their bodies grew strong because they needed to be strong. Their minds grew clever because they needed to be clever. Miraval showed their research about human exploration. When humans went to space, they weren't scared of new places. They were used to facing new challenges. Earth had trained them for it. The hall was quiet as everyone thought about what this meant. Many species had called Earth a death world. But these students showed it was something else too. It was a training ground that made humans tough and smart. We think other species should study Earth more, Ken said. Not because it's dangerous, but because it teaches us something important. Life can grow strong when facing challenges. Laura Bennett and Dr. Mason sat in the audience, smiling proudly. The alien students had understood something deep about Earth and humans. They saw past the danger to find the truth. After the presentation, Professor Engström made an announcement. The Academy will start a new program to study Earth. We will learn more about how planets like Earth help create strong species. Many students came to ask questions. Some even wanted to visit Earth themselves. The 3 alien students answered questions for hours, telling stories about their time on the Death World. Later, in a quiet moment, they met with Laura and Dr. Mason one last time. "Thank you for showing us your world," Zixtel said. "We understand now why humans are the way they are. And why you're such good space travelers," Miraval added. "After Earth, space must seem peaceful." Laura smiled. "Earth taught us that we can face any challenge if we work at it. That's why we love exploring. Every new place is a chance to learn and grow stronger." As they said goodbye, the alien students knew they had changed how many people saw Earth. It wasn't just a dangerous world that somehow produced smart beings. It was a teacher that made its children strong. More students would come to study Earth now. They would learn its lessons too. And maybe one day, the whole galaxy would understand why Earth's challenges were really gifts that made humans ready to reach the stars.